So this time we'll be talking about Swagger, which basically it auto-generate the API documentation or sort of it. Why I'm doing that? Mainly because I need before generating any data or doing anything, if you have an API without any information on it, how can you generate, or how can you get a sample JSON from it? You can rewrite it to your hand, you can see your API. Yeah, Swagger is the main point of Swagger. It's only two code of lines, and I'm using .NET MVC, .NET Core, which is cross-platform. So just directly go to the code. If you go to the code directly, and you will see here, first we have to do one thing. One of them is, if I open the terminal, we have to first, if where is the Swagger, where is the code Swagger? If I open, yeah, I found it. So if I open my console on my app, I can add it using the .NET Add Swagger here. If we click on the times, I do a CLS. You have to add it using the code or using the app on it. If you add the app, if you add the code there, so you click add, you write add .NET ads package swaggle.asp.net. Is this the point 4? I think there is an update to point to yeah, there is an update. No, yeah, it's same namespace. You will do that and you will add it. After you add it, if you are using VS Code, I did has a problem. I only need to rebuild my app again, so the IntelliSense can pick up my the code that I added. Next, you have to do two things. On startup.cs, you go to configure services, and you will add add Swagger, and from that Swagger document you will just give it version. We'll do it version 1, and you give it a title, my API. Okay. Then on the other method, which is configure, not configure service, configure, you will be using Swagger, use Swagger. That one add Swagger. Now we are using Swagger, so we add it first to the services, to the dependency injection and everything, and so that not will be aware of it. Now we are adding it to the what do you call it, to the stack, or to the user stack, to the what do you call it, to the pipeline, so to the HTTP pipeline. So we add a Swagger, and also I added a second thing. There is Swagger, which will give you JavaScript. The second thing you can use Swagger UI, which will give you an HTML UI to that on top of your Swagger API, and you pass it Swagger endpoint, and you pass it like that. There is a good link for this documentation. I think it's it's there. If you go to GitHub slash, this is the document here. It's in this is the link. GitHub domains .NET.core. If you just write it in Google, you will find it, and you will get this information. Let's run the app. if I show you the app, so now when I go to my hosts and I go /swagger, it will directly give me this API, this documentation. So I did not write this. It's did only change or did the documentation or did the thing using what? Using what do you say? Yeah, using it will just give me the documentation for the API using what I'm saying, yeah, using auto generation, which means the code automatically will try to read my code. It will automatically try to generate a JSON for my APIs, and it will automatically do an API in HTML. All of that by doing like 6 code of lines, which first we add the package and we add it to .NET and we use it in the pipeline using these commands. After that, we just go to the URL and we will find the documentation there. So I have two expose APIs, one called secure API and the other one called task. I did write the task API. So the task API will give you the verbs, the HTTP verbs that are available. It's get, post, get, and put and delete. And the model object on these all the objects on these APIs. So they will give me like what's the task object and what it will return, the type of it. So now if we click in get, it will not, without running actually, it just give me you what the response that you will get to 100 and sample of the model that you will get it. So this is random text generated. Same thing with the post, what you will be getting in the parameters, or what should you do in the parameters, what's the type of the parameters, what should you do on it, and like response type and everything. So if we try to execute the get one, for example, you can click try it out. I'll give you this button, click execute. It will show you a sample. It will show you the real data from the API and the response headers, application JSON, and it will show you. So this is the real response after trying. And the same thing when you try even to post something. If you try to click create, it will give you like places where you can edit your things that you want to. If I add it like that, not the good. The good is nothing is even if you do it like that and you click and you is that a post? No, put. I will need post, not put. Post. What is post? Yeah, post. If you try to do the post thing, try it out, and you click here. You click add, and you click execute now. Where's execute? Execute. You will see when we go back to the get one and we try to execute again, you will see the one we added now. So it's talking with the real API. All of that is just automatically generated using Swagger. So we don't need other things other than Swagger to do that. So this is Swagger with .NET.